This is exactly how I made Chris Bumstead an $82 million online fitness coaching business. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Charlie Johnson. I'm a former failed personal trainer who's now sold over $11 million of products online in the fitness space. So who is Chris Bumstead? Chris Bumstead is a 6-time Mr. Olympia Classic Physique champion. So he's got 27 million followers on social media between Instagram and YouTube. He's also a family man. He likes pets. He's got a cool dog. And he could be the person who could solve a big problem, which is that America has a huge issue right now. There's 25 times more people who are millionaires in the United States than have abs. The obesity epidemic is more wild than ever, and he could be the person who was like Arnold Schwarzenegger years ago, who could get America and Canada fit again. So this is Chris Bumstead's social media account. So across his Instagram and YouTube alone, he has 27.6 million subscribers. So if we look at Instagram, for example, he barely even posts. Like literally, he's posted once in like 9 days, and he's posted very, very little like over time. It's very, very slow in terms of what he actually does in terms of engagement. What is really interesting on his Instagram account is that if he actually really wanted to push this up, he could explode wildly. He's got 23.8 million subscribers and followers, which is absolutely mental on Instagram alone. And his engagement rate is really high at 4.39%. He averages 1 million likes per post, which is wild. 2,762 comments. And if you look at terms of his content growth, he's literally had exponential growth where he focuses on actually like making content. And you can see this around certain times throughout the year. It always has a big lift up in January, which is probably due to the New Year's rush and people in fitness, which shows what a thought leader Chris is, that he's getting a big bump every January when people are searching for fitness content. If we flip over to his YouTube account and we look here, this is even more interesting. He has 3.7 million subscribers, just under 400 million views total. And if you look how much content he's actually producing, it's not absolutely insane. He's getting big jumps in terms of views when he does post, and you can see the same thing again in terms of trends. Every January, there's huge amounts of searches, which is pushing up his there's huge amount of searches coming in, which is new people looking for fitness, the new year, like getting a shape vibe. Now, the amount of content he's posting is pretty low, again, in terms of the amount of videos that are going out, but you can see in terms of the amount of content going here, that his literal like content growth is very like continuous, even without him posting, because he's ranking consistently. So if he really put time into growing his social media accounts, not that he's not, like anyone who's listened to watched some of his YouTube, I'm a massive fan of Chris Bumstead, but this shows how much bigger of an audience he has. Now, what I'm going to show you next, which is wild, is what he's actually selling, which is a low-ticket fitness app. So if you go onto his website, you go to CBum Fitness, you can buy this app that's $9.99 that's automated. Now, this is like the anti-scale method in terms of what I would teach people in terms of online coaching. He has such a big audience that no doubt that he does very well on this, but this isn't actually something that is going to solve people's problems to a high degree because people need accountability. And now I'm going to show you exactly how Chris can make over an $83 million a year coaching business. So what Chris is currently selling is a $9 per month app. Now, what I would do if I was working with Chris in terms of building his business, I would swap this $9 thing into a $3,000 thing, which would be a $3,000 high ticket coaching program for 6 to 12 months. And I'm going to show you the exact math of what that would look like in terms of building the business, and essentially what the fulfillment side of that would look like and how he can actually really help change people's lives. So Chris Bumstead has 27.625 million followers across IG and YouTube alone. Now, in terms of a sales funnel, the top of his funnel, and a sales funnel is like this, his is enormous, massive, because he has so much traffic coming through constantly, because he's Mr. Olympia, he's great, he's super charismatic, and everyone loves him and buys into him, even if some of his content stuff's not particularly well made in terms of creation point of view. Now, let's play some very, very, very pessimistic numbers. Let's say he converts 0.1% of this 27 million people into buying clients. That's 27,625 high-ticket clients he could sign up as the #1 authority in the space. And if he was going to charge a 3K price point for this, like I'd sign up for Chris Bumstead's coaching at 3K. So if he converts 0.1% of his audience to 27,625 clients at $3,000 a program, that works out to 82,875,000. which would be absolute grandioso. And I think that's very realistic in terms of how that would happen, because the 0.1% I think is very realistic. Now, in terms of a fulfillment point of view, and then booking calls and selling this, how would I do this? I'm about to show you. So as we already said, Chris has a huge amount of like top of funnel, so people coming in terms of traffic. What I would essentially do if I was Chris, he probably has enough buy-in that people don't probably need to be sold in terms of like over the phone. But the reality is, if you wanted to maximize the amount of revenue you could do, I would definitely do that. So what I would do if I was Chris, I would drive people from social media into a call booking funnel and basically get people to book in sales calls to join the CBUM high ticket coaching program. And basically what he's going to need for that is he's going to need phone closers who can then convert prospects into dollars. And this is going to be a very, very easy framework in terms of how he could do, because he could do, for example, things on Instagram, asking people to DM him, or making, like, for example, a bicep reel about this is how I got Mr. Olympia biceps. If you want a free copy of my bicep training routine, comment below biceps. He would probably break Instagram because he has so many comments. You would then plug the system ManyChat in, which would automate the call booking sequence in terms of someone replying and then booking a call. Now, what I would do, we have our own AI call booking software that we use in our own Instagram accounts that books fitness calls, and this is our auto call booking system. So I would give Chris our AI call setters that would basically take the traffic coming in, say into Instagram inbox, and then directly into call booked, then directly into a sales closer, to then directly into money, and then we'll talk about fulfillment in a minute. On YouTube, what I would do on YouTube, I would make the same sick content he's already making, but again, drive people to call booking funnel. And then what I would also do is I would make other different type of content. I would make a case study video on YouTube of, here's this client I worked with. This is how I took Jim, who used to work around Universal Studios at 400 pounds. This is how I helped them lose 100 pounds in 12 months. This is the exact process, and then drive that to a call booking link so you can drop 100 pounds like Jim. And this is where Chris could actually be the person to help a lot of people overcome the issues they have in terms of obesity, in particular in North America, because he is the #1 authority that people look up to. And what people actually really want more than anything, it's not a nutrition program, it's not a workout program, it's someone to be accountable to and someone to be inspired by, and who better than a 6 times Mr. Olympia like Chris Bumstead. So now what we'll talk about is the coaching results and how he can help change people's lives. So the first thing he's going to need to do is build a world-class coaching team. Now, this is super easy, because if you are a person watching this, would you want to work for Chris Bumstead as a coach if you're a personal trainer or online coach? Probably going to say yes. If that's you, comment below. Now, he will be able to build a coaching team of very good coaches. He will be able to lead them and inspire them. So they can work one-to-one with clients. And they're going to be basically the boots on the ground. What Chris can do is he can plan out overall nutrition templates, and then he can also plan out the workouts using like the CBUM workout method, or whatever he wants to call it. The 6-time Olympia, the 6P, whatever you want to call it. So he could basically have coaches work one-to-one with clients. He can plan nutrition templates. He can give CBUM workouts. He can also push all his raw supplements, which I know he already makes bank on, into the programs. And guess what's even better, if you're watching this, Chris? People who buy high-ticket programs at $3,000 have a lot more money they spend on supplements. So the LTV of your client is going to be like through the roof, insanely high. Now, what Chris could do to add a sane amount of value is he could do group calls. So he could add maybe 2 group Zoom calls a week with Chris. And people could submit questions they get to ask Chris. Now, if you've got 27,000 clients, there's going to be a lot of people on a Zoom call. So you'd have to have a way you could submit those into the group, and then he could basically answer your questions live. That would be sick. I would probably sign up for that. The second thing I would do is some type of community. So what he could do with this is he could do something like a school group, or he could do a Facebook group. And this is a really easy way in terms of people can have a sick interactive experience where people who are CBUM Fitness members can share their experiences, and Chris can jump in, send people videos, comment in the group, post in the group. And this is how he can create an ecosystem of people getting great results, changing lives, and he can be the person at the top who really inspires people to get their arse in gear, lose the weight they need to, and change their lives. So where this gets interesting and where complexity of scale comes in, where I found in my own fitness business when we were up to the highest point, about 1,300 clients. If Chris has 27,000 clients, and if you have 150 clients per coach, how many coaches does he need? Some quick maths is roughly about 1,841 coaches.
which is insane. So that then becomes quite a difficult business to manage, which means you're then going to have like a big organization, operational team to then be able to handle this and break these things down. Now, this is just where you need to have systems and people in place. He's already got a business crushing it in terms of raw, so I have no doubt he doesn't have the ability to have people around him to help build this out. But he would actually, in a position, he would break the system because he would be basically building so many clients coming in so quickly that this would be the bottleneck for him. It's actually going to be team building. So the moral of the story, if I was C-Bum, I could make it a bucket load of money and already know that he is crushing it in terms of what he does with Raw and the other sponsorships. But if you're watching this video in a position you want to scale an online coaching business from someone who's actually done it and is still doing it right now, I could also help you make a bucket load of money to get the 3 things I wanted, which was time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom. There's information below this video. You can hit the link to book a call, find out exactly how we can help you. If you took value from this, smash the like button, comment below any questions, and subscribe.